I don't want you to be this founder, the one that only contacts investors when they need something. A signature, an introduction, a check, and then they wonder why the same investors are slow to respond, cold on the next round, or suddenly harder to get on the phone than they were before maybe the first check was written or initial interactions. Founders closing rounds the fastest right now are not the ones with the best pitch for round 2. They are the ones who never stopped communicating after maybe one round closed or one meeting closed. And not just with investors who wrote the check. So today I'm going to walk you through the exact update strategy that gets founders their next check without the extra work. There are 2 ways founders typically communicate with investors after the round closes or after a meeting. The first is silence. The founder disappears, they go into build mode, the investor hears nothing until the next raise opens. And then that conversation starts from zero instead of new momentum. And then the second is desperation. The founder who only reaches out when something's wrong or when they need something. Maybe an intro, another check. They're now hearing from them means being asked for something. Both patterns are fixable with one habit: a consistent, well-structured monthly investor update sent before anybody asks for it. The investor update is not a regular newsletter. It's not a marketing email. It's not a pitch. It's a short professional communication that shows an investor the company is moving. It includes milestones, product progress, team wins, partnership developments, challenges, and what's coming next. Plain language with real numbers. So the goal isn't to impress, it's just to keep the investor inside the story. So by the time the next raise opens, they're not hearing about progress for the first time. They've been watching it happen. It goes to more than an investor who wrote a check. It should go even to people who passed on you before, but be sure to ask them if they'd be open to being on your newsletter. Contrary to popular belief, investors don't always pass because the business is bad. Most pass on timing, thesis fit, or a risk they just weren't ready to take yet. That doesn't mean a no right now is a future no. Every investor who passed then watched you hit the metric you said you'd hit, close the hire you said you'd close. Maybe you're one execution away from changing their mind, or one warm intro away from someone who will. Update only the people who wrote a check, and you're going to be managing a relationship you already have. When you update everyone who took a meeting, you're now building the future of the company. A strong investor update has 4 core sections. Each one is super short, tactical, and in bullet points ideally. The whole thing should be readable in under a minute. First is the headline metric, maybe a core number that captures the most meaningful progress since the last update. Could be revenue, growth, wireframe updates, customer surveys, something you want to lead with, not bury. Next is going to be wins or milestones. Be very specific from what happened since the last update. Maybe a partnership signed, product milestone, key hire. Not, we had a great quarter. We closed an $180K annual contract and X customers to date. Instead of, we're going fast and we'd love to discuss the next round, right? MRR grew 22% since last quarter, driven by these enterprise contracts. You want to track towards the milestones outlined with specific key metrics, kind of thinking through an actual timeline. Now, the section most founders skip is the honest update. Include challenges, what's not going according to plan, or what's being done about it. It's also the section that builds the most trust because investors don't expect perfection, they expect transparency. The last is a thank you, an acknowledgement to someone by name, maybe an investor, a mentor, advisor who helped you out or went the extra mile. People love looking for their name. The bonus is to end with one simple ask and only one, an intro request to someone very specific or a resource you might need. Don't make it a lengthy sob story. Think if someone could copy and paste this short context to make the intro on their phone, could they do it? And on cadence, monthly during an active raise season or high growth periods, and then quarterly for a steadier building phase. The cadence matters less than consistency. Quarterly updates sent like clockwork 18 months in builds a totally different relationship than one that's sent whenever the founder remembers. It can signal discipline, it can bring in more quality investors long term, and you want to send it on the same day every time, maybe a Monday or Tuesday of the first or last of the month. The investor can scan this, they do their own math, they want to see the trajectory and the founder actually executing on what was promised. And when that raise is going to open, the conversation starts with, we've been watching you for a year, instead of walk us through the business again. I worked with 2 founders last month alone who had investors reach out asking to participate in the round before it was even announced, and one even rejected them on the last round. But both had been sent consistent investor updates for months, and it's been sent to everyone who took a meeting, not just the ones who did write a check. One of those reach outs literally came from a previous no. The update did that work and the raise was kind of a formality. So when done consistently, this one habit can change an entire round. Investors who have been on the inside story for a few months or a year don't need as much convincing anymore, including the ones who said no that first time around. The pitch could get you a first check, but that update is going to get you the next one. And make sure you check out the resource I've got for you linked in the comments, and be sure to subscribe for more tactics, fundraising resources so you can go raise your round faster.